like I said, he now started to say, I want to speak to the character of my wife. I said, Milton, hey, Milton, back by me now. Milton is Hello and welcome to Canvas World. And on today's episode of Canvas World, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind Season 5, The Reunion. So do well to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and support my channel. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Now let's get straight to the meat of the matter. Okay, I'm going to just confess and say blessing, Kamba, I enjoyed this episode. And I'm going to just put it out there. I have a star that is the star of the episode, the one that shined the most. Do you know who the star of the episode is? In fact, the star of the season is Milton. If you don't agree, argue with the gods, argue with your ancestors. I don't give two. Because Milton's maturity is mind-boggling and mind-blowing at the same time. Honestly, Milton has now made me understand in life. Because I've always known, they say age is nothing but a number. Age and wisdom are not parallel, blah, blah, blah. But Milton is a living example of that. You know, some things are just like parables. But the reality of it that brings that word, that makes that word flesh is not really there. But Milton has really has made it clear that Benny, age is just a number and it's not the same thing with maturity. Because I can say to my futures that Milton is the most composed, most mature person on that stage with all the 30-something-year-olds that are there. So it's a lesson for all of us, even us ladies who are quick to, discount younger men. I'm not saying jump on younger men, but it's just the lesson. Like, see, it's not the older men that because they're older they have sense. As far as I'm concerned, Milton is more mature than Izzy, than Ochi, and these are people that are way older than him. So it's a lesson, honestly, and I just want to say I'm so proud of Milton. I don't know him, but I am so proud of Milton. Milton composed himself well. And Lydia, please, I hope you guys work. I pray to God that you people work. Because at some point when I was watching this reunion and Milton started talking, I had to pause it because there's just some things that are too much to take. You need to take them in small doses. Like, Milton was just shining so bright. His lights, like, he was just making too much sense. I had to pause it and just take a stroll down my house because I couldn't believe what I was hearing Milton say. I had to go and add hot water to my existing cup of tea, just to sip, just so that I can, and then play it again. Because, no, Milton didn't just do that. Milton did not just do that. Milton is the star of this reunion. I'm just going to put it out there. And yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed the reunion. I'm so glad that I watched it. And that's why I'm doing the video immediately. This is almost 3 a.m. Nigerian time. I don't know why I have insomnia, but nah. Yeah, it was so good. So now, do also like, share, subscribe. Now let's get straight into the meat of the matter. But let me take a sip first because I'm hyped. So, they reintroduce us to the couples, and then they take us to Milton and Lydia and ask them if they're still together, and they said yes. And immediately they said yes. Look at me in my house. I was like, yes! Because at the end of the day, guess what? I love. Yes, it started off chaotic. They say Lydia is a stalker. Like, I personally never believed that Lydia is as crazy as people try to make her to be, because I never just believed one word that came out of Uchena's mouth. Uche is just a liar to me. That's just how he comes off. Like, I just cannot believe anything Uche says. Even all the interviews he has been doing, he has been talking. I can't believe that guy is saying greatest record. So I can't believe one word. So I didn't really always feel like Lydia was as crazy as people made her to be. What I felt was this: she dated somebody, she was in a toxic relationship, and toxic relationships make you do things that you're not supposed to do, make you go the extreme, makes you sometimes feel crazy. If you're gaslighted good enough, you actually begin to think you're losing your mind, and sometimes you might, begin to follow people on Instagram because you're scared that this man that has cheated on you with people is still cheating on you, so now you're full. So it's making you go crazy. But she's not the stalker, killer that people are trying to make her to be. That's how I always felt. So, and I felt like for somebody like that, she probably has never had somebody love her right, and it has maybe impacted her esteem, and she just needs to heal, and also needs to be in a healthy relationship. And I hope that this is the healthy relationship, honestly. So I am saying this from my mouth to God's ears. Lord, please, I hope this relationship lasts. Honestly, I like them. I like them. And I love Milton. And Lydia, congratulations. You won a jackpot when you married Milton. So now after all the whole eulogy, let me get straight to the cocoa. So they start with them, then we come to find out, apart from all the cute videos they showed, which is so cute, I was just smiling all through. We come to find out that they actually went and had a second wedding in Puerto Rico. I'm like, oh, these people are actually serious. Hey. And then they now ask about Milton's family, like, okay, Lydia, have they finally accepted you? We come to find out that Lydia is now very close to Milton's mother. I say, wow. So that good for her, good for Milton, because that means they're all in a good place. Great. In fact, according to Milton and Lydia, because of Lydia's very expressive and loving nature, it has even propagated his own family to even become a little bit more loving and soft, because they are tough people, like as we saw, and that's really good. And I wish them all the very best. So after they touched on them, then we moved to Izzy and Stacy, and then we find out that after the whole wedding, they decided to take 1 week off. And after taking 1 week off, they reconvened, had a conversation, and Stacy was like, they need to start all over again, like dating from scratch. Izzy said no, he doesn't want to start all over again. If not, they might as well just throw the whole relationship away. So I think for Izzy would have wanted a situation where they would still be engaged, probably move the wedding to maybe 3 months or 6 months, and you know, they're still engaged. But I think Stacy wanted to take it back to boyfriend and girlfriend. So Izzy declined, which I respect. I respect both of their decisions. I mean, from the wedding, we could already see that Stacy had already convinced herself out of the relationship. And the only thing that was just making her say things like, I love you, was just because she was trying to soften the blow that she was landing. And Izzy was still very much in love. So, I mean, it's fair for Stacy to say, you know what, I'll not do it again. And then they separated. Then we find out that after the separation, okay, we don't find out that yet. Then let me not drag the whole thing. So we shall find out that they did not. After that, they didn't speak to each other for 1 year. Then they bring in Jonnie and Chris. Now, Chris is now another Lori Buruku. Excuse my Yoruba. Somebody that is not serious. Chris that we're even thinking is the most stand-up like guy, the better guy, the whole thing that Jonnie treated bad. So apparently, after Chris and Jonnie started dating, Chris just 1 weekend told her he was going to a party or something like that, and he never came back. Chris eloped. He eloped with somebody else that we don't even know, maybe his ex or something, and he told us now that currently he's still living with that girl, he's in love with her. But my thing is, why didn't you just break up? Why didn't you just call Jonnie and tell her, see, I found somebody else, I'm in love, I'm not doing it again? You just up and left. You guys were dating, no conversation, no fights, no problem. You just up and left. My brother, you there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you, and you need deliverance, because that's cold. That is so cold and wicked. And Jonnie was just sad and emotional, and she wished that she hadn't broken up with him. And I can see why she'd wish that, because the truth is, maybe if, you know, she didn't break up with him, there wouldn't be that distance between them, because they would have gotten engaged, they would have been a part of the process. And it's a lesson to us girls. For dating multiple guys, we're talking to multiple guys, don't just pull the trigger on one guy, the one you like. Wait first, let the man choose you before you end it with another guy. Because the mistake Jonnie did was, she ended it with one guy, and the guy that she ended it for ended up not choosing her. So it's just a lesson. That's why we watch the show. Part of it is entertainment, part of it is you have to learn something from it. So yeah, she said she regretted that, and I can see why she did regret it. Then they moved on to Stacy and asked about the tension between Jonnie and Stacy. And Stacy was explaining Stacy was explaining how Jonnie was bad mouthing her in the pod when Izzy chose her, like, oh, they won't make it, she won't make him happy, blah 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 blah. Which is true. Jonnie said it. Jonnie did bad mouth her. While Stacy was talking, Jonnie and Chris were having a side conversation. I personally felt like that was disrespectful and that was petty. So Jonnie comes up to me as some of this nice, nasty person. So she has a very soft demeanor. She has a very soft demeanor. She's soft spoken. She looks like she's fragile, like she cannot hurt a fly. But there's a mean girl inside of her. Because what's the reason why you're on a platform? You're at a reunion stage where they're asking everybody questions at interval, and everybody's supposed to listen and, you know, be a part of the show. And then in the middle of Stacy saying something, you break and you start having a conversation with the weary that treated you bad. You are telling him sorry. He's telling you, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that's disrespectful. And Jonnie is being disrespectful, but indirectly, because someone like Jonnie, you need to, excuse me, somebody like Jonnie is someone that is going to instigate you in such a way that if you are not smart, you won't even know that this person is instigating you, and other people will think you are mad. Because look at that, was ridiculous. Yes, it's subtle, but those are some of the subtle ways people can be aggressive. Because when somebody else is speaking and you're having a full-blown conversation on the side, you're disrespectful to the host. You're disrespecting that person. But she's doing this in such a soft way that it's not even direct. And people like that, you have to be aware of them. Jonnie is a mean girl, a nice, nasty girl. In my opinion, that's what I saw from what I saw tonight. So, I mean, Vanessa now said, excuse me, there's a conversation going on. Is there something you want to tell us? They're like, no. Anyways, Jonnie was just like, yeah, maybe I should have been a bit nice about it. Long story short, nothing came out of that because they were still going back and forth on Izzy, blah, blah, blah. And then we come to find out that, like 2 weeks after, 2 weeks after Stacy and Izzy called it off, and Chris had gone on a hiatus. He went on vacation. He eloped. 2 weeks after that, Jonnie and Izzy met each other at a bar and ended up making out. First of all, I want to applaud Vanessa Lishe and her husband. I feel like this season they really tried. They felt like they really tried to prod and ask the right questions. So yeah, good for them. And they tried to get the details. At first, Vanessa was like, did you guys kiss? They're like, yeah, we kissed, we didn't make out. Said, please define make out. So we just kissed in the car, but we didn't go. Like, those people, I doubt that they did not do more than that. I highly doubt it, because you could tell that Izzy was the one who was willing to divulge more. Jonnie was really uncomfortable. Jonnie was really uncomfortable when they were asking, and Izzy was responding because she didn't want it to get out, because to make her look dumb and to make her look bad. But you did it, and Izzy is a talker. Like, don't go and rob a bank with Izzy. Izzy will confess to the feds and take a plea deal. That's the kind of person Izzy is. So anyways, they spoke about that, and then we also find out that a year after, Izzy and Stacy run into each other at the bar. They also kissed, but then they realized, let's just remain friends. And that's when Izzy now, touched Stacy and said, yeah, this is my guy. And I'm like, see, I can't lie. I can't do things like this. I can't be friends with my ex. I cannot be guys. We cannot be bros. Nah. That's not how I operate. But those of you that can do it, no power to you. May the good Lord continue to be with you. Because I cannot do it. Couldn't be me. I just feel like when I close the door, I close the door. And I don't only close the door, I throw the key into the bottom of the ocean. I throw the key to that door into the bottom of the ocean. I don't even want to have access to that door anymore, because I feel like people should not have more than one opportunity to break your heart. And unfortunately, sometimes we give some people two. But if you don't close that door completely, burn the key, burn the bridge, you're going to give some people multiple chances to break your sweet, fragile heart. So then we move from Stacy, and then they invited Aliya. So this is what I think. I think that Aliya came trying to come with a vengeance a bit, trying to get Lydia and try to hold Lydia accountable. Now, to be fair, Lydia is in love, and I honestly did not sense from watching any negative energy from Lydia towards Aliya. And I believe Lydia when Lydia said, I did not read the room correctly, because they asked Lydia, like, okay, Lydia, do you feel like you maybe, when they just told you, okay, you can talk, you began to talk? She said, yeah, that she probably read the room incorrectly, but she meant well. And I believe that she did mean well. But sometimes we might mean well and still not end up doing the right thing. And that's just, I think, what happened with Lydia. Lydia did not just know how to walk within a certain boundary. So, what's her name? Aliya, because this Aliya and Lydia, their names sometimes can be confusing. So Aliya asked Lydia that, you told me that you and Uche discussed coming to the show. And Lydia said, it's not a discussion, it's just the 1 minute conversation of, oh yeah, I saw the casting, you saw the casting, and that was it. And I actually believe Lydia. I feel like Uche has the propensity to exaggerate any situation. He has it. He's a lawyer. He knows how to use words and, twist them. I believe that, yes, they probably knew that, okay, we're coming to the show. For him and for people to say she followed him, if she followed him, she wouldn't have ended up being married. She would have still been stuck on him. She was the one who moved on. And Milton, this is where Milton melted my heart, literally. Milton made it a point to uplift Lydia when it was as if this baby was trying to comfort. And he said, see, he apologized to Aliya for her, experience, because unfortunately she didn't get the full experience, like she said. But he just, Milton is a darling. Milton is a superstar, like the star of the season. Like I said, he now started to say, I want to speak to the character of my wife. I said, Milton, hey, Milton, back by me now. Milton is, God, I beg, God, I beg. Let us, like, at least, come on. This is what we want. A man of character, of timber and caliber. Anyways, he was like, I want to speak to the character of my wife. She's an amazing woman. She uplifts me, she motivates me. He was just building Lydia up. I was just like, oh my God, is this love? Oh, so sweet. So after doing that, he now said something that was really important. Milton actually said something that was really important, that on the other side of the pod, that he was somebody that was trying to keep all his cards to his chest and not talk too much about his relationship, but that Uche was coming to ask him many questions. It was like Uche was coming to ask him many questions about it, like, who are you talking to, and was trying to get information about him and Lydia. And that Uche tried to, speak negatively about Lydia, but he would just shut it down. So he just tried to tell, and I actually agree with Milton. At the end of the day, Uche did the same thing. Even if Lydia did the same thing, if her and Uche really stood a chance to still be together, because at the end of the day, they decided to date after the show. So if they would have worked, they would have worked out. So at the end of the day, you might have not gotten the full experience of the show, but you probably wouldn't have worked out, because you still tried after the show and it still didn't work out. So that's on Uche and on you. And they asked Aliya a question. They said, which Uche did you get when you started dating? Did you get pod Uche or did you get barbecue Uche? Guess the Uche she saw, of course, barbecue Uche, the one with the gangster, the petty one, the one with the rude tone, the one whose ego is bigger and larger than life, the one who wanted to be center of attention, the one that wanted to talk down on Miriam. That's the Uche she dealt with. So that's not Lydia. Lydia was out of the picture by then. So I empathize with Aliya. I felt like Lydia could have handled things better, but Lydia is not the villain everybody's making her to be. Uche is the real villain of the show. Many of the castmates don't even F with him like that. Many of them don't even F with him like that. So then they actually like a few videos of Uche with Lydia, Uche with Aliya, Uche with Milton, and they just say, now we're going to close the Uche book. And yeah, I think that they just made it very clear that Uche was the bad guy of the season, and I always felt like that. Even all the interviews he has been doing, trying to save face before the reunion, I did not believe one single word. And I feel like anybody that believes Uche is really funny. Like, even if Uche tells me that rain is falling and I stand under the rain, I'll still not believe it, just because he has lied too damn much, and because I just don't believe the guy. I'm sorry, I don't believe Uche now. Now we move on to JP and Taylor finally. Taylor looking good. She lost, I mean, she looks like she has been working out. JP came out looking good. And the conversation started. And JP was still trying to say rubbish. Ogbeni, you effed up. All this lady asked of you was to have a conversation with her, and you weren't having a conversation. And one thing that was interesting was when Nick Lachey asked about his previous experiences with women, he said that it is his guys that do the talking for him. Like, and so I think that JP honestly is somebody that is probably is extremely shy, and he probably has some issues that, you know, prevent him from talking freely with women. I don't know, maybe there's something there, because it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not even shading him now. I think there's really something behind it. Or he just did not like Taylor. But even if he doesn't like Taylor, like, to not be able to say a few words is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So for that reason, I just think that JP has some things he needs to work on. But I appreciate how graceful Taylor was, and when he apologized and said he's sorry, she said, I forgive you, just try to treat the next person better. And then he said he was in a new relationship, so they were just both graceful, especially Taylor. She wasn't trying to hound him too much. She held him accountable when he was trying to go on and on about I was shy because of the multiple cameras, and she was like, but even when the cameras weren't there, you weren't talking to me. So she held him accountable, but she didn't beat him down. And that just goes to show that Taylor has great character, and I really, really wish her well. I'm happy that Aliya is in a relationship, and I hope that ends well. Izzy, you need to work on yourself. You do, Stacy. Everybody does, even I do. But I am thoroughly happy for Milton and Lydia. Now, lastly, they got to play a game, and that game was so much fun. They asked them to describe who they would go for outside the pod, and Milton said Chris. I feel like Milton is an actual jokester. Like he's a funny guy, and then Chris said Milton, and I'm like, okay, these two, they're clearly friends, and they have so much, like, they have a bromance and they have love for each other, which is cute. Yeah. So, and then they also asked them to use a song. I mean, to give a title of a song that described their experience. I think JP said something. I can't remember the song, but something silent. Taylor said Silent Night, which is apt. Stacy said My Love Don't Cost a Thing. Stacy, that's a lie. Stacy, that's a big fat lie. But it's a nice song to pick, but that's a lie. Hunty, your love cost 18. It cost a dime. Yeah, it cost a lot. And then Izzy's song was Hot and Cold. I can see how you can arrive at that, because today him and Stacy are good tomorrow. They're not good up until the altar. What's the name? Milton chose 99 Problems. Good one. Milton is really a smart guy. Jonnie, what did Jonnie? She said the one. I think the one, and they're like, is it not two? You were two guys, so it was really a fun game to watch. I think Aliya's was also good. Said thank you next, and I'm like, yes, girl, that's more like it. So I really enjoyed the reunion. The reunion was way more interesting than the entire season, but yeah, it was a good show. It was good, and for me to do a review immediately after watching it, I mean, just know I was really hyped for it. Like, it was really good. I enjoyed myself. Lydia and Milton, they warmed my heart. They literally warmed my heart, and I am honestly, from the bottom of my heart, wishing that they make it, and that whatever challenges they face, that they overcome it, because I love love, and I want them to win. And on that note, I'll say thank you so much for staying with me on this episode of Campus World. Do well to like, share, subscribe, because I will be reviewing more shows, and I will be, doing more videos on emotional and mental health, like I always do. Do well to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what was your favorite part of the reunion. What was the thing that gave you the moment? And I'll see you in the next video.